Yo, what's up?
Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of the Here's the Crack podcast.
If you can follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, help us get into those charts. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button.
And while you're there, leave a lovely comment. Tell us what this podcast means to you. If there's any funny bits, any guests, we'd love to hear about it. Just drop a comment. We're always watching. Let's get into the podcast.
Where was that place we went to the other night in Belfast? Place where I definitely thought, I walked in and thought, we're not making out of here. Like, yeah.
Oh, it was rough.
It was dodgy.
The only place that was open.
Oh, it wasn't dodgy.
It was fucking dodgy.
Here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack, here's the crack. Welcome back, talking shit and drinking wine, like and subscribe. Here's the crack.
How's it going, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Here's the Crack podcast. A little bit of a shift over in terms of the setup. I don't know. I think I'm liking this.
It's conversational.
It's conversational. I think we realised after some feedback that us being in the same row, and it was a bit awkward as well. Like,
Just think it doesn't look good.
yeah, whenever you have guests and stuff on, and you're effectively just like looking over at you and then looking over, and like you can see guests like doing this, and it's just not.
It's not good for the neck.
It's not the conversational vibe
A lot
that
of
we
neck-
wanted to
neck
go
injuries.
with. And so if you're watching this, you'll know what we're talking about. If you're listening to it, as most
Just
of you
skip.
do, just ignore this part. But anyway, we'll get straight into it. A lot has happened this week. Are we talking about what happened to you?
Busy boy.
Busy boy Shay.
Doing a bit of boxing.
So
Ramping. YouTube boxing.
explain the events that transpired the other night. So you were out.
Right, like you sent the photo into the group chat,
And
and
you
I
look
didn't
no
know.
different.
You look no different.
Not that badly.
It's not like your lip was proper split open.
I'll show you a picture of my t-shirt. I took a picture of my t-shirt. So basically, for those who don't know,
You're such a diva.
I was out at the weekend in Armagh and was walking down the street to get my wee Dominoes on my way home from a night out, and somebody threw a drink over me and punched me in the face.
Unprovoked.
Completely
Apparently.
I swear to God, I didn't say fuck all.
Paint the picture. What happened?
Set the scene.
It doesn't even.
Let me see.
just-
You look like you just
it
were.
looks
Out,
like
you
you-
just like you've
That is so.
It looks
jumped
like you
into a
just
bush.
busted a Ray-Ban on your shirt.
Yeah.
A white t-shirt as well.
Most of it was
Oh,
over
sure.
my face. Like, I was walking down and he was coming up one side of the path, I was coming up the other. The guy I was with walked behind me to let him past, and he just turned, threw the drink over me. I was wiping it out of my eyes and he just punched me in the face and then fucking started swinging, but the fucking Card Frampton in me kicked in. Started ducking and dodging them. Like. I think he tried to swing 4 or 5 times and missed every single one of them. But like, in fairness, he was a wee runt of a lad, like. And I'm not saying I'm fucking
Shay's
Mike
calling you
Tyson,
out
like.
wherever you are.
He's a big boy, lad.
But yeah, I was like, nah lad, I'm not gonna hit you, like. So I
were the
de-escalated
better
the
man.
situation, like.
De-escalate the situation.
And then he was standing there with his fucking arms or his hands clenched and his eyes were like fucking dinner plates, like. I thought he was possessed, like. He was possessed.
It was snowing at Armagh.
Fucking right.
You just had the picture of the scene. Every time something goes down, our group chat is just the
I
funniest
couldn't
thing ever.
believe it when you were like, yeah, he just didn't fight back. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
I didn't want that, like, I didn't want because I knew Aoife was coming and I was like, I'm going to get in more trouble that way
Yeah.
than fucking the punches I'm going to get.
You'd be a single man
It
with a
ain't
busted
worth
lip.
it. It ain't worth it. Like. It's not worth it. Like
He was standing there and he had his fucking hands by his side and all, and he's wearing this super dry top and I didn't know what his name was.
that's what it was.
That's what it is.
Blame him. Sure, he insulted all the
I'd say-
super
I'd say
dry.
it as well.
That's what it was. Con.
I'd say that's what it is.
It was just a t-shirt and said
Slagging
super
it.
dry, but like I didn't know his name or nothing, and he was standing there fuming all, and I was like, here, super dry, calm the fuck down. He wasn't happy about it, like. He wasn't happy about it, and then I was chatting to his mate, like.
Did you not know Super Dry is the worst clothing brand?
That's probably why.
Imagine
He's
that
probably
was-
looking for you, Thomas. He's like, oh, there's Shay. Where's Thomas? Like,
He hit me
"Smash
once and he
super
goes, Tommy, you're next. Come for you, like.
The TikTok was just replaying. in his
calling you
head.
out. Like, that's not good. Like,
But I never got my fucking Dominoes. Was
Did you not even get
Ended
a
up getting a
Domino's?
Linz, like, Chinese. Wasn't good, like.
Dominoes. You could have had your Dominoes.
I really didn't want a Dominoes, but it was the only thing in Armagh. And you know, whenever you get yourself so psyched up for it, like.
Do you rate Dominoes?
No, I don't like it.
Do you not feel like every time you have a Dominoes you feel like shit?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I've-
it's proper
it's wrong.
greasy feed. Like.
I think it's the fact that Domino's do like dead on deals. Like if if we ever got up to the port, it's like 40% off at £40 and above. So you're like
But like,
realistically,
you're spending 40 quid.
no, but you get 40% off if you spend £40.
I know, but even
So, like,
with that discount, how
it's
much do you
£24.
spend? But what do you get?
So the last time we were up, we got a portion of Cinny Dippers, 2 large pizzas, nachos, and dough balls.
Sunny
So
Dippers
we,
are the only thing I like out of them.
Oh my
Unreal.
Stop it. Yeah, we got all that.
Yeah.
And like it was 24 quid, and we're like realistically,
I
like
suppose,
it's
yeah.
20. If you're going to a chippy, you're going to be spending like nearly 20 quid anyway. Like realistically, so I was like, we just may order it. And when it actually comes to the door right, it's a godsend. Like when they don't leave out something or give you someone else's order. But I just always find that once I have like a massive feed from it, the next day I wake up and I honestly feel like hungover.
It's
Yeah.
nicer the
You know
next
what I
day.
mean?
I'd eat it the next day. So you know the
Cold,
grease
like.
is like, or the grease is soaked out of it onto the box.
But you ever
And then you
notice
heat it
like,
up.
Oh no!
after you eat
It's
the
way
pi-
nicer.
after
Listen
you
to
eat
put
the
the fear in me. We were up at
Is
the
that what you call your dildo?
we were up at the port. we were up at we
so
were up.
just bent you over and put the fear in you. Like.
We were up and
You used the
she-
grease from the McDonald's and leave
she'd
you up.
like she'd like leftover pizza and like left it out in the kitchen. Like I just put it all in like one box and set it. She came back the next day. It was probably like over like 12 hours, maybe 18 hours later, and she had like a slice, and I swear, see, within an hour,
Dead.
broken. Like. She was in bad shape.
Did she
But
eat
it was
cold?
like chicken and stuff on it. This was ages ago. Like
Chicken's risky enough to heat up again.
especially from there, because it's like I know a fella who used to work in Subway, and they say like if you see it, you'll just get absolutely put off because it comes in like big, massive, just like wet tubs or something like that. I was like, no, that would just put me off.
You always get that. People who said that they worked in places would say they'd never eat the food.
Now,
Yeah.
to be fair though, I know someone who worked in McDonald's in Ballymena, and he was like, I eat out of it all the time. He's like, it's like they're really clean. So shout out
That
McDonald's
happened.
Ballymena, like.
That happened to Aoife though in Lynn's,
Oh no, what do you call it?
wasn't it?
Fire talks, I think.
She not said
But
the
it-
same about Lynn's
it was-
because I remember I used to always get out of Lynn's and she would have been like, I work
yeah.
here and I wouldn't eat out of here, like. And I was like,
one thing she said was about fire talks, but they put the grease, you know, the chicken supreme,
yeah,
the grease out of the fryer
into it,
into the chicken supreme. But that's how gravy's made.
right?
Not the grease, like, you know, the fat and stuff
the
that
grease
comes out
from
of
like
it.
the chicken and stuff.
Yeah,
like.
from the fryer. Like they put that into the chicken supreme, and that's what makes the chicken flavour.
I suppose.
But
like.
that's how gravy's made, like.
Fun facts with Shay.
Fun facts with
If you want to
Shay.
make a gravy, check out Shay's recipe. But
I cooked a
email it out.
I cooked a chili chicken penne pasta last night and put way too much chili sauce in it. Oh my word! I had it the day for lunch, and I was near crying at the lunch table. Like my eyes were watering. Everybody was like, "You all right?"
The
And I
sweet
took
chili sauce
so
isn't
much.
spicy though.
No, it's when you nearly buck half
Oh,
a
fuck
May
off.
ploy in it. Like
That's sweet chili
it was,
sauce.
no, it was spicy enough.
You're
And
soft
like
as fuck.
I'd
Imagine
loaded
you
it.
eating Nando's.
I'd
like,
loaded it
Oh
with
my
pepper
God.
as well.
you eating like a mild Nando's, like
Load of
Christ.
pepper, like fucking.
Yeah, mate. Like, I'm
Black
not.
pepper.
I'm not. A, like, would you say you're a cook? Like, would you like? What's your culinary? What is your culinary?
You don't have to be a
skills stretch?
cook.
I like
You just have to be an eat.
this question gets me all the time because like, you know, when you go back home and like
Yeah.
obviously I live in Belfast and my like family would be like, oh, can you cook? And you're like, yeah. Like I can cook, but it doesn't mean I cook all the time, if you know what I mean. Like I
Yeah.
don't go whipping up like Michelin star meals, like, but I could cook something.
Yeah.
You just get the ingredients and cook it, like.
Mix it in a fucking bowl.
Like it's not hard. Like I don't get this when I couldn't even make an omelette, and it's like you could like
yeah. Oh,
realistically like get a few eggs, crack it, put in a pan. Like. Do
I
you know
think
what I mean?
people expect you to be doing fucking proper
They're like-
culinary.
and then they're like, what do you make? And like you're like, well, like spaghetti bolognese, and they're like, oh, like,
The
do you
only-
know, like
frozen
what do you
pizza.
eat?
The
What do
only
you eat
thing, the
during
only
week,
thing
like?
that I was always really timorous about doing was chicken, because I was like, I don't know, like I don't want to like kill people. Do you know what I mean? But then when you actually, because I wouldn't know like if I cut it open if it was pink or not.
Oh,
It's
yeah, you're
colorblind.
colourblind.
Oh no, but you'd
But
surely
like
be able
the
to
other
differentiate
night,
the
yeah,
colours.
To be
like.
fair,
Just taste
see,
it.
I
Does the
thought
chicken
this,
breast
I
in the
made sure-
packet look the same to you
I
when
am-
it's raw?
No,
and
no,
when
no,
it's
right.
cooked?
So
like?
this is it was all in my head. Like, so the other day I was cooking that chili chicken penne pasta the other night, and like cut a bit off it open, like maybe 5 minutes into doing the chicken, just to see, just to put the thesis to the test. And I was like, I can definitely tell that's pink
Your
in the middle.
ma sending you to the shop to get a cooked chicken, and you come back with like a load of raw chicken breasts.
No, fucking live chicken.
I couldn't see
I
how
colourblind.
I'll say is
I'm colourblind,
see
like-
cutting raw chicken. Weird feeling.
Why?
Just like
I ate it once.
ate raw chicken.
Pure raw.
Why?
It was a goose on, and I didn't know you had to. I just flashed it in the fryer. Like, I thought they were cooked inside. I thought they were cooked inside, so I just like flashed them to warm them up, but they weren't, and it was stone raw inside. Like,
Oh my
bit into
God.
it. Oh, disgusting.
I once tried to heat beans up in a microwave one day when I was working in Carphone. We were so busy, and I went out the back and I like went through a phase of like bringing like pre-cooked sausages in, like sausage and beans, like as like a dinner type thing. And I went in, I wasn't even thinking, like, and normally I'm not this stupid, but like went in, just took the thing off the top of the beans and just bucked a tin of beans in the microwave,
Right.
10 and all.
10 and all,
Oh, you're a spa.
You're spam.
and literally just hit
Did the
like
mic,
the
was this in work?
yeah in Carphone.
And did the microwave just explode?
Literally, no, it didn't explode.
Did
I
it go-
knew
did
at
it-
5 seconds into like it doing it, I turned it on and just immediately just heard this like and I looked around, someone was flashbanging me straight over, like bang it, like open up the thing, and I was like, what the heck? The smell pure reeked
The
as well.
sparks going off,
sparks just flying in the back room. Like.
Oh my god.
I was pure I was bad shape, like it was stupid when I look back on it, but here
Well,
you
it
need to
wasn't
do these
smart,
you need
was
to
it?
do these things to learn, like, do you know what I mean?
I think the thing with cooking is like I wouldn't say I could like have a dish that'd be like this is unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? Like Brona makes out their like chili pasta that she got like the
Yeah.
recipe, somebody done it on Instagram
Oh,
or
like
something,
the
like the
Remora.
Remora one, and it's
Yeah.
fucking unreal.
Yeah,
Like, but
that's what I
like
mean.
I wouldn't have anything like that is like proper like unbelievable.
But like, I suppose
Like, if someone was to
cooking's
come
just
over-
following fucking instructions,
Yeah,
like, so
but that's all
can
it is.
anyone really cook? Like,
But like
Well, yeah, that's
Yeah,
the point I'm
yeah.
making. Like,
But,
there's
like,
no like.
I feel like when you're
oh,
preparing a meal, especially if you're preparing a meal for someone else, there's that added pressure. Like if I'm working at home, like I'll cook sausages, like scramble eggs, like all that there stuff, like no bother, and I don't find that at all like stressful. Whereas I know people who are like, I couldn't even do that. Like I just make myself a sandwich, and I'm like,
But you could.
fry sausage, like you could, like
It's
you
just laziness.
literally Google it. But like the other night I was obviously making that, and there's just so much like Lucinda was over and she was like, you put the chicken in, a bit of pepper over it, like a bit of brandy and all this here, and I was like, what the flip, like,
brandy.
yeah,
like,
like you splash of brandy in it,
it's
brings
not
out the
light up,
flavour.
you know.
No, it doesn't light up. The alcohol it cooks, so it gives it a wee, seals in the flavour, the juices.
I think I would cook, but how does anyone have time to fucking
I
do
have-
that?
No time, like.
Like if you're gonna start doing all that shit, it's gonna
But
take you at least an hour.
The thing is, and it's a double-edged sword, because I say I don't have time. Realistically, I do. I just
Yeah.
don't have the time that I want to sacrifice to be arsed.
Yeah.
Like if I have an hour for lunch, I'd rather go out and like go out a run or go out a walk for half an hour and spend like 15 minutes making something.
Yeah, I think that's the conclusion that me and Aoife come to this past while is like, I'd rather get a takeaway and do an extra hour in work and get paid a few pound extra to be able to afford that.
Sacrifices. Like.
Yeah, so
What do you call it? Opportunity cost economics.
But like, to be fair, when you're actually, it costs a lot to like be healthy.
It does, yeah.
Oh
No,
my
yeah,
days!
It does,
Like, see,
like.
whenever I was on that 6-week shred, the stuff I was buying just to get an extra bit of protein, like I maybe could spend like £30 a week for food, like throughout the whole week, and it went up to like 70.
Healthy food is more expensive, like.
Yeah.
And then you think like if you're buying fresh stuff, like it goes out of date so quickly. Like sure, that time you were doing that like you were spending, like you were like, oh, you should do it, and then he was like, how much do you spend a week on groceries? Like £100. And I was like,
I know.
no, like,
I was thinking that was alright, but like seeing, like that'd feed a family there. The amount of
Yeah.
food you're buying there.
that was crazy. That there was like so, like we
So
would
intense,
eat
like.
healthy like enough now, like, and we'd get groceries and all every week, and we'd spend like max like £50 for groceries, like,
Yeah.
and that's like
15
the most
frozen pizzas.
the most expensive. like.
But like, to be fair though, like you could like people always
Just
say like food
Rustler's
budget.
cheeseburgers.
Yeah, like it's mad. Like you could go into Tesco, like Tesco do that meal deal where you get like 2 pizzas, 2 sides, 2 pizzas, 2 sides, and like a dessert or something for a tenner. That's more. 2 pizzas, a dip, and 2 sides for a tenner. Like how many people? That's probably why people are like
I know.
Can't afford to
gaining
cook.
weight. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's probably.
Yeah.
Or
You
you go in and buy
literally
a steak. and
Can't
it's-
make things for as cheap as you can just buy them
Yeah.
made.
But then to be fair, it adds up because if you go in and you buy a steak,
Okay,
like
can,
say a steak out of Tesco is like £4 or £5,
Yeah.
maybe £4 for a good one.
Yeah.
Buy like the Mash Direct Champ or like Mash Direct like sweet potatoes or something. Like you're probably about a £5 for a meal there, like £5-6 for a meal, and like by the time you do that
Then you have
over
to
like a
spend
few
half
days,
an hour
yeah.
cooking it.
It's just the time,
No, you just
the time
flash.
cooking it, man.
Is she gonna have steak fucking 5 nights a week? Like?
If I'm hungry, if I'm leaving the gym and I'm starving, I will most likely go get a steak. And that Mash Direct Champ, it literally takes like you flash the steak on the pan for like 5 minutes each side, put the thing in, heat it for 2 minutes, stab it with a fork, let all your aggression out on that. 7-minute meal.
I just stopped doing the sides. Like if I'm
Just
gonna have
eating
like
steak.
chicken. No, yeah,
Just
literally
eating
like,
raw steak.
that's what I
Do you
started
just
doing.
get
I was
the-
like, I
get a
can't be asked
straightener and
cooking
just
fucking
fucking
broccoli
cooking?
and chips or
Fuck
whatever,
yeah,
or rice.
things like that. Like
Just
I'd be so basic like that. Like, I would just be
Yeah.
like, if I'm making like Bron would make a stir fry and she'd be like fucking you should put broccoli and all on it, and I'll just be like noodles and fucking chicken on a bit of
That's it.
sauce.
Yeah,
like,
that's,
you know?
that's all that keeps me happy. Like.
But there's something hard, like it's so heartbreaking whenever you go and buy a load of shit and spend like 40 quid in groceries, make a massive meal,
Mm.
and it tastes like shit.
Yeah.
And you've just wasted 40 quid, and you're like, why not just get a takeaway?
Health.
Health is wealth.
Aye, just starve yourself.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Ross is looking for a house,
Oh, you sprung this on me.
but
I think we're all looking.
I seen a
Aren't we?
TikTok. I
Aren't
seen
we?
I seen
Are we
a
all-
guys. Just you, hey, me and Chez Cleveland, we're going to America, running away. I seen a thing on TikTok, and this guy was like, he was saying, like, you're buying a house that you're probably going to live in for like 15 years, right?
Yeah.
But you go and view it and spend like 10 minutes looking at it.
It's mad.
Like, that's the decision. Your decision's based on like a 10-minute viewing.
Yeah.
He was like, the point was basically like it's not like you get to rent it for like a
Yeah.
month and then make your decision. It's like you're paying like what the guts of $200,000 for a house, maybe.
Yeah.
You probably spend more time test driving a car than you do.
Yeah,
looking
that's
at
the
a
thing
house.
as well.
100%.
But
I spent more time test driving that car I have now, but like it was obviously like a considerable purchase. But like I spent more time test drive. Like I went back and looked at that car twice
Yeah.
just to make sure, and like probably spent more time. Like took out for like a half an hour test
Do you
drive.
even do those things where you're like, get to take the car home for a day and all, like,
Yeah.
day test drives and all?
Yeah.
I suppose
But like,
then
there's no
a
like
house-
30-day money back guarantee if you don't like your house. Like,
No.
it's just like, yeah.
It's done.
see
Like
that.
it's done. It's
Does that not worry you?
mate. I'm being honest. Like you see,
He just
I'm
pooped.
Because you viewed a few houses,
right.
now.
So I'm probably realistically, like I know we talk about this and like me and you have had really in-depth discussions about it, but like we're probably a year off. We're probably a year and a half off. Like
Yeah.
realistically, but like I think it's a thing where like I probably would have waited the year and a half. But the fact that someone came in who I know recently has bought a house and they're like, just start, just if you can, like it costs you nothing to go and look at houses. Like effectively your tire kicking and part off, he feels like a bit of an asshole for doing it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's all like at the minute, me and her are just going around houses, and like I would say we've chopped and changed our minds so much about what we want just by looking at stuff.
yeah.
Where it's like that wouldn't sit. But it's really weird because we nearly got caught out with this the other day. I think I was telling you about it. I don't know what I was. Well, I was. We were out the other night, and I was asking you just about costs and stuff. We're sort of in that mindset now where we're like, go and look, and if something banger comes up straight away. And I think now because everything's so pricey, you're almost looking for that wee like diamond in the rough. But like realistically, everything's gonna probably crash in the next while. Like, so it's probably worth holding off.
Oh no, what people keep saying that. Like.
But how high can it go?
I've talked to a few people about it, and like everything's obviously so high in price because of inflation.
Yeah,
And the only way to bring inflation down is to increase interest rates.
yeah.
But you think of everyone who took loans off the government and all
Yeah.
during COVID, if they increase the interest rates more, like everyone goes bust, like.
So the
And
thing
then
is,
unemployment
yeah.
goes up, like, so it's sort of like, what do you
like
do there?
we've looked at a few semi-detached houses, and even like we've seen a semi-detached house there the other day, 3-bed semi-detached, no garage. It was a new build, 170,000. Right, that one we looked at the other day, 4-bed detached, garage.
do you think
big
the
backyard,
houses you're viewing are
175,000.
worth the money?
So that one that I seen, that I said to use about, right? So there was an offer put on it, so that kind of like popped that balloon. But at the same time, I was proper like, you know what? This is a good house. Like I was proper saying, listen to like, this could be like, it was properly a house where, you see, if you did move into it, and everything crashed or stuff did go wrong, as long as you were able to pay that mortgage, like you weren't going to be pushed out of that. Like if you turn around and you bought that apartment that you're in now, right? It's a nice apartment. It doesn't even do you in Brona now.
No.
Like imagine 10, like, and this is all weird to think about because like we're like in our 20s, but like 10 years down the line, wee kid comes along the way.
But like it'll go up.
You know what I mean? And you're kind of sitting there thinking like we wouldn't be pushed out of this house. Like if like obviously you'd want a nicer house and all that there stuff, but like compared to what you're getting. And you're kind of just looking around just for that matter. But like I took Dad out to see it, and as soon as he walked in, like someone who kind of knows like about stuff like that, he was able to just walk in and be like, you're probably looking about 15 to 20 grand there worth of like adding on to that.
I
Like,
said that
there was a
to you by
flat
looking
roof.
at the photos. Like
There was a flat roof at the front of the house,
yeah,
and like the top of the flat roof was like
going in,
coming off.
Yeah.
And you're like stuff like that. Now that's fair, like no problem for me and her at the minute because like we aren't pushed out of the house. Like we'll buy when we want to buy. We're just getting the ball rolling. But like imagine we turned around and we bought that there with a budget of what we have, maxing out a budget. Like I'm more thinking like someone younger who doesn't know, maybe doesn't and isn't in a position that I would be in where I can like rely on other people to maybe like advise me.
Yeah.
They go in there, oh, your flat roof's leaking. The flipping boiler in the house apparently was on the blink. Like your doll said, that's the boiler in the house on the blink. And then we went upstairs, like the hot press was like all like around the pipes and all were all like cracked. And you're just like, whoa, flip. Like if we'd have committed to that.
But you said someone put an offer down for that house.
Someone put an offer down on it for 183,000.
And it was 175.
Lucinda booked a viewing for a house somewhere where we like would quite like to live, and it would be a popular enough area. The house is on for 175,000. Like 3 people or something was bidding on it. The house is up to like 197,000.
What? Was there only one person bid on that our house and the bid like nearly 10k over?
Because apparently the person who bid on the house really wanted the house, and the house that they were living in was being bought by an investor who would like rent it out. So like they were the house, that house in particular, the people in it were just wanting to move out straight away. So like when you're into that, like people would nearly prefer first time buyers because you're just going to walk into the house, they can get out, there's no like messing about. You know what I mean? So like it worked out perfect for them, but like they ended up just getting more money for it, like because I don't know, like
what do
why
you mean? Someone bought it just to rent it.
Yeah,
but like why did they pay more?
I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Either someone's lying to us, or
I think you're being fucked over.
you know what I mean? But like, it doesn't matter
sus,
anyway, because like we got the phone call the day after I went out and seen it with Dad, and I knew by that stage like I didn't want it. I was like, it's not really ain't worth it. Like, but we got the call. But like even there the other day, like we booked a viewing for a house on Thursday, and the house needs work done to it. Like it does, but it's cheap. But like an estate agent rung me the other day. It was on Saturday, and I was getting ready to go out a bike ride, and he was like, so like, are you first time buy? And I just think there's so many people looking for houses that estate agents are like, we can just be blunt. He was just like, are you first time buyers? And we were like, yeah, we would be. And he was like, he actually did this. Lad, this house needs a fair bit of work done to it, like. And I was like, yeah, no, I've seen the photos. And he was like, aye. He was like, won't be an easy job, you know. And I was like, are you an estate agent? Or are you not trying to sell me this house? Like, what the heck? And I just went like, can we come see it or not? And he was like, yeah, I can book you in, but needs a lot of work done to it.
Just offer less money then.
And I'm like, lad, I know what needs work done to it. I've seen the bloody photos. Like, just let me go and view it. Like, but it's almost like they're trying to put you off because they know like there's other people who probably pay over and above for it just to have a house.
Why would they not get you done?
I don't know.
I think he was just being nice.
So
surely anyone like they would think first time buyers would be more naive. Like you should be like, it needs a bit of work done it, but like there's some value in this
some
house.
potential in this house. Like, do you know what I mean? It's so weird. Like I don't know. Like, but it just feels weird at the minute because it feels like you shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? It feels like you're just. I don't know.
You're young. Like, what do you think? Like, you're obviously more experienced in property than us. Like.
And you're older.
What do you think about the whole
daddy
situation?
I don't know.
Do you think there will be a crash? Like, I feel like that we're having a very adult conversation.
No.
I do think there will, but at the same time,
when
is the inflation rate going to get so bad that it's just going to match it, and the crash is just going to be essentially like staying where they are rather than rising with the inflation rate?
Yeah.
Like, cause like in work, like whenever we're like price materials and shit like that, like materials are up like 150% or something. So like they're not going to come down.
No.
Like once materials are up, they're up. Like you're not going to go into a shop and be like, oh, we're going to put our wood back down another 20%, like, and keep it down there. Like it's going to stay up. So if that's staying up, the price to build a house is going to stay up. But so like the price to buy a house, I don't know if it'll come down. Like.
It's just the only way it'll go down if people stop buying the stuff, can't afford it. Like
Yeah.
they'll have to drop the prices. But like
that's what I was saying the other day, wasn't it? It was like more or less it'll get to a point where people can't afford to buy it, like
yeah.
normal working class people, and then like just rich people will buy them, and then they'll just prices will drop, they'll get in and buy them cheap, and then it'll just be like rentals. Like you'll only be able to rent a house.
Yeah,
Like.
I think it's all about like. But then I noticed a lot of rentals around Ballymena are going up for sale because you're going to be getting more. Like realistically, the cost of living's went up. It's like the cost to fill up a flipping boiler or the cost to fill up an oil tank's went up. So like they're hiking rent up, but then also people are like, well, flip, like if I was getting 110,000 for this property a year ago, I'm now getting nearly 140,000 for it. Like it would make more sense for me to just sell this.
But even like I've been looking at houses like flats to rent, like because we're probably going to just rent for an year, and like this places have like average going up in price. Like the flat Ran was like staying in, like he's moving out of it now, but like he was saying to me that like the estate agent was basically asking if they were keeping it on, and he was like if they were to keep it on, it would have went up £100 a month.
Flip me.
That's ridiculous. Like.
Do you know what I mean? And like I'm looking at places.
Rent's already fucking extortionate.
Like a decent tube. Like we got that flat because we're saving, and it was pretty cheap. Like, but like now it's too small. Like I'm working from home, and like I need to have a room where like it's like my office type of thing. And like for a 2-bed, like a decent, like a nice, like we want to just get a flat now that's just nice. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like you're talking £900 to £1,000. Seriously, like
How about this mad? But how about we just don't do any of that? Like a girl was saying to me the other day, I work with a girl, and she came over and she lives out in the Gold Coast in Australia, and like she was talking to me, and I was just like, you know what, it's time to do it. Just go, take your money, go rent somewhere cheap, and then go get coffee every day, go for a wee sea dip and all.
Me and her were talking about it not too long ago, like about going to Australia, like, and we were just like, I don't know. I feel like there's just so much. I feel like who was it saying to us? Was there someone saying this about or maybe it was like we were talking about it, but like it's like I think everyone makes going to Australia looks like seems so glamorous, but it's like when I actually think about it, I'm sort of like, what, like I don't know if I'd enjoy.
But if you're
afraid of spiders, right?
I hate spiders, but it's not even that. Like it's just like I'd be close enough to my ones and stuff, and it's just like,
yeah,
like when your friends or family are here, you're sort of like you've no real reason to leave. Like I'd maybe travel, but like it's a different story moving and living in a different country. You know?
So many people have said to us recently, like, oh, would you not like rather take your money and go traveling? I'm like, if you do it right, you could have a house and go traveling at the same time. Like it's not that big. Like it's not like you're. People act as if you're pure signing your life away, and like, yes, it's a serious commitment, but at the same time, I'm like, you can still go traveling places, and do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just spending money on absolute crap at the moment, like.
But like this is what we were gonna talk about.
Crap.
This is like you always say you're gonna travel, but like me and Broner were talking about this, and it's like you say you're gonna travel, but like realistically, like you buy the house. The next thing's getting married, like let's be real. So like you buy a house, you're saving for a house. So like you're like at the minute we're saving, like we're going on holiday and stuff, but like we're not really like we could go on holiday more if we wanted to, if we weren't saving. And then so then you buy the house, you're done saving. But like say like you're to get engaged, you're saving for a wedding then, like that's another 20 grand. Do you know what? And then you're always saving, and then next thing you're having kids. And then you're shaving.
Bang,
like,
bang,
do you know?
bang.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's so easy to say, "Oh, we're gonna go traveling," but then like next thing, and then not even like your friends start getting married. Like, oh, I have to go to this wedding, blah blah blah. I have to get this.
But like you even look at it, right? So see now, like if you look at our calendar, not even for the podcast, if you look at our calendars, just mates, the next 3 months. We have a lot on, like, and you're looking at like I don't know how you look at it. I look at it from money point of view, where I'm like,
I'm trying to pull funds out of everywhere. Like.
Ed Sheeran, £100, no bother. Ed's like, give me that money.
Actually, the ticket's for 80 quid.
80 quid a ticket.
It's ridiculous.
I discovered this yesterday, and I was like, someone said to me, "You going to Ed Sheeran?" And I was like, "Yeah, mate, I am." And they were like, "I seen someone selling the tickets the other day for 80 quid." And I was like, "Mate," I was like, "The absolute rip off." And they were like, "What are you talking about? It was £1 under face value." And I went, "No, it wasn't." I went back and looked at the tickets, £81.63, and I thought, that's £81.63. Like, you know, between the no, £81.63 per ticket.
Do you know what's scaring me as well? The way we've started like paying for hotels on the day now.
Oh yeah, no, this is
Like,
what me and Brona were
what
saying.
we're doing now,
Yeah.
like we started this. Oh sure, we'll leave it. We'll pay it at the time.
book
But
it,
that's all
yeah.
right now. Like, but whenever it comes to it, and you're like, "Fuck, you know, I'm gonna need 200 quid or whatever for this weekend away." Fuck, I need not 200 quid to
This
pay for the
happened with me
hotel.
and you in Dublin.
But like Brona turned around and said this to me. She's like,
These
have
are gonna add up,
have
like.
we paid for Dublin yet? And I was like, yeah. And then I was like, oh fuck, I don't think we have. Like,
I'm pretty sure the next two hotels we're staying in is paying the. No, that's
Yeah.
Galway, isn't it?
Galway, yeah.
Galway is £300. But Galway is
But
£300
that's between the two of us.
for a
like.
comment.
Still
Still £150 per lad. That's mad. I want to have that money put away before I go. Like the only like that's what I was thinking about the other day. I'm going to a stag do at the end of May, and I have it paid, and I'm like, you know what? That's perfect, because you see in May my car insurance comes out £480. I'm like,
My car insurance came out like a month or so
Like,
ago.
how does these costs just come up and slap you in the ass?
Like we were always, we also said like their like graduation, like we went out and like we rarely go out the two of us anymore, just because you're always like, oh we'll go out, but then you're like, oh but like it's gonna cost so much money.
Yeah.
So and we're just like, we're in our 20s and we're worrying about all this, and it's
Yeah.
like if you keep going on, I guess you're just not gonna enjoy
Yeah.
yourselves.
That's one thing I would say. Like I've been saving dead on, but at the same time I haven't been worried about it, to be honest with you. The past few months I've just been like, anybody who says anything like, "Do you want to go here?" I'm like, yeah, go on ahead. I don't care anymore.
See, I've been doing that too, but I've been fucking cutting it tight at the end of the
Aye.
month. Hey,
Yeah.
oh, bye.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Pulling it out of nowhere, like
Flip me.
scraping up the pennies out of the dash in the car, like to try and fucking.
It is
Go buy
mad.
me
Like,
dinner.
Yeah.
even you look at like the stuff we're doing now, and it's like, you know, would you like we're going to Ed Sheeran in May, and even you said yourself, like, you're like, "Will we go out for your birthday?" And I know finally you want me to say no.
You said yes.
And I went, and then I'm looking like, I'm like, oh, here, Ed Sheeran's coming up. You're all right. But like
Oh,
Dublin, no bother.
I think I'm gonna have to cut it down to one big thing a month. Like.
Yeah.
Like,
But
no
we
more.
haven't, like, realistically, like, we haven't done much this year, like, have we? Like, how many times? We've, like, you count in your hand the amount of times we've been out this year.
But
like.
then the thing is, I feel like we're just out of that lockdown thing, and like you were in the house for 2 years, so I think everybody's just mad to just get like. Do you see the whole thing about Harry Styles at Coachella, and it was the biggest crowd ever recorded, and I'm like, it's probably because of Harry Styles, like he is a big deal, but it was also probably because like everybody's been locked in their house for the past 2 years and probably thought, I just want out. You know what I mean? Like, it's mad. The amount of money is. How much did you spend? We all went out the other night.
150
I know.
quid.
130, 140 pound I spent. What did you spend?
I think it was 130.
Yeah. But it was his face the next day where he was standing beside me, him poor dying, and he was like, "How much did you spend last night?" And I was like, "Mate, probably about 130 quid. How much did you spend?" He was like, 70.
Do you know what the
And
killer
then
is though?
Look
It's
at
whenever you
Mozo
start-
again.
it's
Oh
whenever-
yeah.
It's whenever you start in the fucking shots, they're so dear.
It's not
They're
like-
like 6 quid each.
But, like, it's when you go out for dinner as well.
It's gonna
Like,
be shot like.
do you think it's cheaper to have a meal first and then go drinking, or to go drinking and then get a takeaway after? Like?
It's a vicious.
Takeaway after.
Like, realistically, you're gonna go out for a meal, go out drinking,
gonna
and
get
then
a
get
takeaway after
after
too, like.
anyway. Like,
But so did we? We didn't get a takeaway after though.
Lad,
Did
the last,
Yeah.
yes.
We went
The
to fucking Mikey's
we went
after.
to Mikey's.
Fuck, that's
I must have
right.
spent about 20 quid.
We
I
went
got
to
a
Mikey's.
burger
We were at
and
Mikey's until like 4 in the morning, mate.
We couldn't get a taxi.
Couldn't get a taxi. But sure, the last time we all went out, the 6 of us and the girls went out, we went to where was it? Chubby Cherub. We went to Chubby Cherub, and then afterwards, sure, like we went and got a kebab because Aoife couped hers all over your floor.
I don't
right.
think we spent as much that night though. Did we?
But I have to get a feed on the way home. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
will go
going
back
on
in
a feed, like.
Monzo and tell you how much we spent that night out. It was mad, and we went to the flipping Tipsy Bird as well, which is a dear. It's dear enough, like
I know.
it's not overly dear, but even you think like people always say it's like places are a dear hole. Where was that place we went to the other night in Belfast?
Well,
Revolution Cuba.
The place where I definitely thought I walked in and thought we're not making out of here. Like,
Oh, Love and Death.
yeah,
oh, it was rough.
it was
Dodgy, eh?
dodgy.
The only place that was open. Like.
Oh, it wasn't dodgy.
It
There
was
the-
fucking
the,
dodgy,
mate,
like,
the,
it
the
was
people
rough.
in it were sound like
Yeah,
everybody
like,
was just
the people
having
were
the
dead
crack.
on,
Like,
but it was like you came upstairs and it was like upstairs
yeah,
and like a fucking-
aesthetically, it didn't tick the box. Like realistically, did it? But at the same time, I went up and ordered. Well, I ordered 6 shots £35. You know what I
Was
mean?
that how much it was?
Yeah, I mean, I look back at
Was
Love
it?
and Debt. Yeah. Can get up in
6
the mornings.
shots, so like that's a lot. Like.
Is it though? That was
But we used to go out like in uni
With 20
with
quid.
20 quid, like,
It was the
and come home steaming, like.
It was pre-drinking, you see, like.
But
Yeah,
then
I
you
think
probably,
we don't do that
sure,
now.
me and you used to, after Met, we used to always go to the Speakeasy. Pints were like
but
£3.
it's cheap, like.
Yeah.
Like we would never have went out before 10 o'clock before as well, like.
But do you know, I think as you get older, like your options sort of get more limited. Like we and as well as that, like going out during the week is so cheap.
Yeah.
Once the students' nights, like,
Yeah.
compared to going out on a Friday, Saturday night.
Sorry, Love and Death, £30.
It's £5
That
a
was
shot
that
then.
was 6 5
That's
a shot.
fucking dear, like.
Like it's get being used to like going when you're a student and you're going from like
Yeah.
drink
250 drinks,
promos out the ass to like going out on a Friday, Saturday night, and it's just like adults
Yeah.
and like we're going out in like Cathedral Corner now.
Expensive
Whereas like
places,
we would have pre-drinked and then went to a nightclub at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like I feel like ever since COVID ended, like you're always like we mightn't get in anywhere like,
Yeah.
because
yeah.
ever is jammed. Like.
Yeah. But you think you would get in places after 10 o'clock now?
I don't know. Like. Maybe
I
like it
actually
depends
don't
where you
even
go.
think we've
Like
tried
I
it.
suppose like we used to always go to Ollie's when we were young, like in uni, and it had good nights. But now like,
No.
you go and like we've been a few times and it's
Oh,
fucking
mate.
dead. Like.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
said,
so-
who said the other night about Ollie's? Someone goes, we go to Ollie's, and I actually felt myself
I
getting
think we were
pissed
I think
off.
I said it as a
I was
joke,
like,
like,
lad,
yeah.
get out of my face. If you're going to Ollie's, I'm going home.
Yeah, so
We've
shit,
been to
yeah.
Ollie's twice. Now, to be fair, the first time we went was just the three of us on our own. You ended up buying some package or something where it worked out. Like we were all sitting doing the flipping, the sums on our. I was sitting at work going, flip me, like what are we doing? Like a maths competition here, and you were like, but if you do this, it's going to be this amount. Whereas if we're going out and getting drinks, you know, it's going to be X amount. And I was like, yeah, you know, you do make sense. Like, you know, financially, this makes sense to make this decision. Then what was the bottle of crap you got? Havana Club.
Havana Club.
Oh, that's the one. Like, so we like this was a Christmas, and we were like, "Fuck it, we'll go out." Like, we'd finish the podcast for like the year, and we're like, "We'll go
Yeah.
out on a mad one." Like.
Go big. Go
On a
big.
mad one.
So like, I messaged the girl at Ollie's because this like in my head I was like, "Ever it was gonna be fucking jammed during Christmas."
Yeah.
Right? Like, and we were like, "Oh, where we'll go to Ollie's." And I messaged the girl, and she was like, "Yeah, it's blah blah blah. This is the drinks you can get. Like, so you got a bottle."
Yeah, a
And
beer ball.
it was a fucking endless list, and I was like, "Class."
There was
like,
Jamson on that. Like,
everything on it, hey.
there was definitely.
And then
Jamson
we
on it.
went, and I mean, they were like, all right, so like, here's the drinks list. I mean, there was like 6 bottles. There was like, so we would drink like Morgan's, or like, I don't really drink Jack Daniels anymore. You drink Jack Daniels, or like Irish whiskey. Like.
yeah.
So there was like rum, but there was no Morgan's on it. It was like white rum.
Yeah.
So we were like,
If you've seen Bacardi, you'd probably be
yeah.
like, yeah, so
And then we were like, I think
Or you could get a bottle of fucking Grey Goose as well.
Yeah.
It was another 100 quid or
I
something.
know,
Yeah.
like, but like, so we were like working out. I were like, we all like rum, so we'll go for the rum. It's bound to be dead on. Havana Club. It was fucking stinking.
Stinking
And we
right
couldn't
on.
drink it. Like. Ended up having to buy another bottle. Like.
Rotten.
Scam.
Yeah, I smelt it the next day.
What about you getting fucking honey potted at the Revolution to Cuba? Like?
What?
Your girl pure sugar potting you or honey potting you on LinkedIn, and then you show up and the name's not even in the list.
No, well, no, to be fair to you, right, no, here. So, girl messaged you on LinkedIn and obviously got us squared up with a table and all at Revolution to Cuba. But the thing was,
Obviously not.
I didn't see this. So, I had originally booked us for 6:30, but then you obviously were working and you were like, I'm not going to get up in time. So, I then rebooked it for 7. But to be fair, the first time she put it through was Friday at 6:15.
Yeah.
I messaged her back to say I need to change this. Now, I didn't say Saturday, but she, I think, just automatically booked me in for the Saturday. But I seen it and just went 7:15, sweet. Didn't
Yeah.
see the Saturday.
Yeah.
So we, like, to be fair, she didn't honeypot me. We still got free drinks.
Did we though? Like?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Sure, I messaged her and was like, love, where's these free drinks?
Yeah,
and she
I think
messaged
on
out, just,
LinkedIn.
yeah,
Oh my God.
me conducting business on LinkedIn, like. But I was just like, you know what, you've invited us, you invited
a tight con.
you invited us here. You said you were going to give us a round of cocktails. I was like, I'm not leaving here without a free round of cocktails.
Imagine
Like,
you didn't get the free drink.
like
and
I
you're
didn't
on
work.
LinkedIn
I didn't
on-
work this in my budget for the night. You
on
know what I mean?
LinkedIn- on LinkedIn on Monday, Ross is like, went out on a work night out, absolutely devastated.
Yeah, it's changed my status to absolutely unwell. But yeah, there's just so much happening. Like, but I even looked at it there the other night. Like, what is it? June. How long? How long? I guarantee you didn't
June.
take this into consideration.
Hurry up, we're
June.
going to have to wrap up here. It's coming up to half.
We're going out in June time
For the Killers.
for the Killers.
Yeah.
Come straight back again. Cage Warriors on the 25th. Lewis Capaldi on the 26th.
Is it the next day?
Yep.
I'm not going to Capaldi. Thank fuck.
So
fuck
with
me.
we're all going down to Dublin mid-June. The week we come back, the week after that, we're for Cage Warriors on the Saturday, and then we are Lewis Capaldi on the 26th.
On the Sunday, proper sessions like.
You won't go.
I don't think
you
we'll
won't
be
go.
fit for it, hey. We'll have to go.
We'll
now.
have
We've
to go,
waited
like.
3 years to see Lewis Capaldi.
Yeah, we'll have to go. Like no bother.
Lewis loves the sessions.
not go.
No
No
bother
way.
for us. We'll coming back from Dublin. Like it'll
Us
just be a bit
drinking
of a
water.
financial stretch.
I
Like,
was drinking water at Lewis Capaldi. Just like,
we'll be sneaking.
See, that's
bottles
the
in.
worst. Like, you're going to Cage Warriors in Belfast, you probably have a bit of a blowout. Then you go down to Dublin, the drinks double.
oh no.
And then,
No, we go to Dublin and then come back and go to Cage Warriors.
so you're going to Capaldi
So
first?
we're going.
Who's
Us six are going to Dublin
For the
like
Killers.
Oh, yeah,
around like mid-month, middle of June.
Where's Capaldi then?
Capaldi's in Belfast.
Oh, right. I thought
So
you
we're
going.
going. So we're back from Dublin. Then the week after, we're at Cage Warriors. Now Cage Warriors will be a good night because it's like all the lads are going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
But when we go out with
judging right there. You know what I
when
mean?
we go out with the women, it's gonna be shit.
But then 26th, then you're waking up the next day. Oh, we have to go see Lewis Capaldi that night.
That's going to be hard.
Financially draining.
Fuck, I didn't even realise.
So
that.
if you're
Every
saying
night
this
we've been
now-
out, we literally haven't recovered the next day until about 4 o'clock. Like,
Oh,
and then
no.
you're going to start getting.
But if you just keep drinking,
Yeah, just keep,
that's the only way. Like.
just see it through.
I'd probably wake up the next morning and just go straight on it because
Yeah.
it's the best way.
He'll probably wake up the next morning and
No,
have
you
to
won't.
pop half the anti-sickness tablet.
Mr. fucking Manchester, he wasn't fucking getting up the next day going on.
We had to
no,
ring
like,
Mr.
bad
Manchester and
timing,
tell
like.
him, mate, we're not going, like, no way.
chance.
Food poisoning.
But anyway, that podcast took a full swing from talking about adult stuff to now
I don't even know how
just
that'll
pure
go.
banter. But
Let us
anyway,
know what you think and
Yeah.
subscribe.
let us know everything we've talked about if you want to hop in. If you're a financial expert on the house prices, we'd love to know. Give us some insights. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. Until next time,
GG.
cheerio.
Hey.